it's Mellow, and today we're gonna talk about the other side of cannabis, hemp. So it was, last week that it was National Hemp Day, and I'm sorry that I missed it, but we're still in the same month, so here we go. I'm gonna give you the definition of what hemp is based on Wikipedia's definition, and then I'm gonna give you some facts on the alternative properties of hemp, because honestly, this is such a magical plant, and I know I always say that about cannabis, but hemp is a whole other story, and it could literally save our planet. So we're gonna get into that. First, let's give the Wikipedia definition. A jack-of-all-trades plant whose individual uses include food, medicine, water purification, and fuel, and whose recreational purposes include getting really high. The difference between industrial hemp and recreational hemp is subtle but profound. For example, industrial hemp's THC content is about 0.05%, so not really enough to touch you in the way that you think you would get high. You're not getting high from that. Whereas marijuana contains anywhere from 5 to 20% THC levels on average. This means it would require about 20 tightly rolled joints of industrial hemp smoked in a very short period of time to experience even a mild high. And honestly, we just don't suggest doing that because that's inhaling a lot of carcinogens, and that's not why we smoke. The good thing about if you want to smoke industrial hemp, though, is that it is high in CBD. So we're gonna get a little bit into that once we get to the medical part, but we'll start with a few of its uses. So hemp has been used for thousands of years for hundreds of purposes, and now it's kind of starting to come back as a popular thing. And as it should, because its environmental properties are incredible. And as I said at the beginning of the video, it could literally save our planet. So we should really be using hemp in way more things. And a few of these things are what we're about to get into. First one we're gonna get into is textiles. Hemp clothing. I know a lot of people would be like, oh, hemp clothing, like that's just like really, it's probably really scratchy, because they think of like the jergas that people wear at, what are they? They're at like festivals and things, or like beach bums wear them, you know? People think of that as hemp, but that's not always hemp. Sometimes that's just like, it's just a really rough, coarse material. It's not even hemp. Depends on where you get your jerga from. Some people just get them from a store and then they're meant to look trashy. Anyways, I digress. So it has actually been used as clothing for thousands of years. It's one of the first kind of uses of hemp, was to, much like trees are make paper, hemp can also make paper. Hemp was used to make paper for the longest time. I'm pretty sure hemp is what the US Constitution is written on. So for you in America who say that hemp or cannabis should continue to be illegal, guys, your Constitution is literally written on it. So maybe take a look at that. Another thing about using hemp as clothing, rope, or paper, it is naturally resistant to bacteria, mold, and UV rays. So if you're wearing like a hemp t-shirt, you're probably gonna get those farmer tan lines just a little more than you would with your usual cotton shirt. But also, like, that's just good for you in general. I mean, we don't think about it enough, but since the ozone layer has thinned, it allows more UV rays to get through, and that allows more people to get hit with skin cancer or just burn way more easily. Not that's melanin, though. I've only burnt like twice in my life. I feel very fortunate for that, but I think if I wore more hemp, maybe I wouldn't have burnt at all. Just a thought. The good thing about hemp versus other crops as well for making textiles is like cotton is all well and good, but it's not environmentally friendly. Takes a lot of water, takes a lot of land. Sometimes we get it from shaving sheep instead of getting it from the plant. So it's like, oh no, that's wool. Don't mind me. I'm not even high yet. Yeah, it's just more environmentally friendly than cotton because to grow hemp, it takes less water and less pesticides to grow it. And hemp fields, like if we had more crops dedicated to hemp, oh, honestly, guys, we would be living in a very different world. You can make, as it said in the book, food out of it as well. And that's another topic that we're about to slide into. It is amazing the fact that this is just an all-purpose thing. And food, to go from wearing it to eating it is like, I don't suggest eating a hemp t-shirt. But I think that it's so cool that you can have hemp milk, hemp seeds, hemp flour. Like, it's so cool that you can make a whole cake out of hemp. I think I need a hemp birthday cake. I'm gonna talk to someone about that. I want to know what that's like. And the benefits to that are, we're about to go through them right now, don't worry. So, hemp as a food is rich in nutrition, fatty acids, and the fibers that you need in your diet. Hemp. I know I'm gonna say that word a lot throughout this episode, but spell it with me. H-E-M-P. Hemp. We're only into the second use, and it's giving benefits for every use, guys. Just wait. We have more. It gets better. Building materials. I don't know if you guys have heard, but you can make hempcrete instead of using concrete. It is pretty much just hemp processed. Oh, it's hemp herds, which are like the woody part of the plant. So not necessarily the leaves. The leaves are what are more used for textiles and foods. And then the woody part of the plant can be used for building materials. So you can wear it, you can eat it, you can live in a house built of it. And you know what would be great about the fact that you live in a house made of hempcrete? It is fire resistant. I have literally seen, I'll put a link in the description below so that you can see. There is a video of this guy taking hempcrete, and like it's a wall that he's built out of hempcrete, and he tries to set it on fire and it just doesn't burn. I don't know exactly what the science is behind that, but that is, your house can't burn down. Yo, the 3 little pigs should have had a house made of hemp. They would have lived. The wolf would not have gotten you. So that's what I think on that one. The other thing about hemp as a building material is that it's insulated. And because, again, it is fire resistant, it is heat resistant. It keeps heat in and allows your home to be more energy efficient. You know, you don't have to use the heat in the winter, which is a huge bill, I know. And then in the summertime, it naturally kind of sweats itself out, so it doesn't hold in so much heat that your house is going to set itself on fire, you know? It's going to allow some air through when it gets too hot, just so that it can continue to breathe. And I think that's cool. That is a living house right there without the technology involved. That is just, my whole life is about to be dedicated to hemp, in case you couldn't tell from this video. And we still have like 2 different categories to go through here, so stick with me. Our next one is health and beauty. You may have noticed that hemp is in a lot of creams, soaps, shampoos these days. A lot of people put the weed leaf on it to be like hemp derived. It's not gonna get you high. It's not a shampoo that's gonna lather on your scalp and next thing you know you're just like high as a kite. That's not how that works. So the great thing about using hemp as a skincare product is that it is naturally moisturizing and nourishing. Hemp as a skincare product is high in vitamin E, B negative. I don't even know what that is. Anyways, zinc, iron, and magnesium. Like, these are all things that your dietitian and your doctors are constantly telling you to put more of in your diet. Consume hemp. Drink it, smoke it, you know. Again, you can, as a food, the seeds are high in protein. And when you grind down the seeds, you can make it into flour, which, again, like nourishing your body inside and out is a very important thing. And when you're someone that uses makeup every day, it is very important to use the right kind of thing on your skin to make sure you're not damaging your skin, make sure you're not going to have any bad lasting effects, and to make sure that you're not breaking out or it's creating more issues for you physically or, you know, psychologically, because we live in a society where we do look at ourselves very often and we look at ourselves in a more crucial way. So take care of yourself, because how you feel on the inside sometimes reflects how you are on the outside and vice versa. So take care of yourself. As we take care of ourselves, we're also going to move into the next one, which is going to round off the whole thing that I've been saying, which is I'm going to use hemp in every aspect of my life once I have enough money to. Hemp clothing can be a bit expensive, but honestly, guys, so worth it because it is so soft. I have a hemp t-shirt and I wish I wore it more. I'm just scared to wash it too much. But I think that's more me needing to look up how to take care of it. But, you know, we shouldn't be scared of these things. We need to make the change in order to be the change, as they say. So, yeah. Anyways, last one is biofuel. So, the fact that hemp can actually replace the fuel industry is a little wild to me. I'm not scientific, so I just don't know how this necessarily works. I mean, I have my nerdy moments, as we've seen on the channel, but I'm not a scientist. So I can't break it down for you in terms of all the science involved, but what I can tell you is that the crops are way better than, like, so the crops of hemp are better for the earth in terms of the way that they grow than corn or soybeans. And these are usually the compounds that are used more to be turned into things like oil, like, you know, olive oil, things like that. They're kind of ground down and made into an oil that we use either in our everyday foods or we use them in our everyday products. Castor oil. Castor is another seed, you know? And we don't really think about these things that much, but we really should. Crops are a big part of our effect on the earth. And again, I am all for dedicating more crops to cannabis in all of its forms. Whether it's the kind that gets you high or the kind that heals. And that's going to bring us round to what we mentioned at the beginning and round off this entire video for you, which is the medical properties of hemp. Hemp is low in THC, but it is high in CBD, and as we have already heard throughout the video, so many other compounds that you need in your daily nutrition. So I honestly suggest looking into hemp as an alternative for certain things. It can replace a lot of things in your diet, your daily life. I I mean, your building materials. Like, if you're someone that's rich enough to build a house from scratch, look into hempcrete. Your house won't burn down. I don't know how many times to say that, but it's just really cool. And another thing about the medical purposes of hemp is that we don't talk about enough about the different conditions that hemp has helped with throughout history. And we have talked about this on Cannabis History a couple of times, which is that hemp as a crop was used mass in the medical field of ancient China. It was used for both religious and medical purposes in India. It moved its way through the desert and ended up, honestly, it's ended up everywhere. That's kind of what it is these days. But then we ended up over here in Western civilization, and we've talked about it before, that they mass-produced crops of hemp. There was literally a law that used to say, if you own land and you grow crops, you have to grow a certain number of hemp plants so that you could produce rope and clothes to society. And I think that is something that we should maybe reinstate. Just a thought. But I hope you guys have learned a little bit about hemp. I hope you look into it a bit more. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts about it, don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and we'll hemp you guys again later. Bye, guys.